Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're tackling a very real, honestly kind of frustrating modern challenge. How on earth do we navigate the endless temptations of our daily diets when our blood pressure is literally on the line? Look, it's no secret that maintaining a healthy lifestyle is tough in our fast-paced world, right? But when it comes to high blood pressure, understanding exactly how our food choices impact us, that is absolutely crucial. Okay, let's dive into this. Do you know someone struggling with high blood pressure? Honestly, chances are you do. Maybe it's a family member, a best friend, or, maybe you're thinking about your own health right now. By making this personal, we can really appreciate why the link between what we eat and how our cardiovascular system works is just so essential. This isn't just a bunch of abstract medical data. No, this is about the everyday lives and the longevity of the people we care about. Section 3, the challenge with modern food. Let's be completely honest with ourselves here. It is unbelievably tough to eat perfectly all the time. We live in a world that is just overflowing with delicious, ridiculously accessible food on every single corner. Navigating that landscape takes immense willpower. It's like swimming upstream. But when high blood pressure is a factor, what we consciously decide to put on our plates becomes a literal lifesaver. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it maps out a pretty dangerous chain reaction. See, we start with that incredible food availability we were just talking about. It seems super convenient, right? But it feeds directly into dietary challenges. If we aren't careful, those everyday, totally innocent-seeming food choices trigger high blood pressure. And here's the kicker. High blood pressure isn't just an isolated hiccup. It acts as a gateway. It escalates into secondary diseases that can severely, and I mean severely, impact your long-term health. So a convenient modern diet can snowball into something life-threatening before you know it. Moving on to the cardiologist's strict warning. When we're dealing with cardiovascular health, we have to listen to the absolute authorities. These are the medical specialists managing the fallout of high blood pressure day in and day out. They see the end results of that chain reaction we just looked at. So their advice? It is definitely not a mild suggestion. It's a profound, medically necessary directive. The medical consensus has drawn a very hard line in the sand here. To quote them directly, "It is quite clear what you should not eat if you want to stay healthy and prevent your blood pressure from rising further." Zero ambiguity there. None. If your goal is to protect your heart and keep your blood pressure steady, managing your diet is completely non-negotiable. They know exactly which foods act as triggers, and they are firmly, emphatically warning us to steer clear. So the crucial point is, how does this actually translate to our daily lives? Well, it often comes down to one highly specific, incredibly common, everyday trap. Section 7, the hidden threat of salt. We all know and love that satisfying crunch of high-salt snacks like potato chips. They're tasty for sure, but physiologically, that little crunch is actively overloading your body with sodium. And the mechanics of this are actually fascinating, if a bit scary. Excess sodium literally pulls water into your blood vessels. Imagine a garden hose. If you pump way more water through it, the pressure against the walls goes way up. That's exactly what's happening inside you. The increased blood volume pushes against your vessel walls, rapidly rocketing your blood pressure straight into the danger zone. It's a very precise, very real biological reaction, just cleverly disguised as a snack. Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 9, the healthy swap. Fortunately, making the right choice doesn't mean you have to give up on texture or enjoyment. We can easily, and I mean easily, resolve this dietary tension without sacrificing that satisfying crunch we're all craving. And this brilliantly illustrates a practical choice we have to make every single time we open the pantry. On one side, we've got the usual suspect, salty chips. As we just learned, these spike your sodium and crank up the pressure in your blood vessels like a fire hose. But on the other side, we have fantastic, heroic alternatives like unsalted nuts or fresh vegetables. You still get that phenomenal, satisfying crunch, but you completely bypass the sodium spike. No pressure overload. It is such a smart, totally actionable lifestyle swap that aligns perfectly with what those cardiologists are urgently telling us to do. Which brings us to a critical question for you to ponder long after this explainer ends. What will you choose the next time you crave a crunch? Are you going to reach for that salty trap that pushes your blood pressure into the red? Or will you empower yourself with a healthy swap? Look, understanding the science behind this gives you the absolute power to break that chain reaction. So make the smart choice, protect that heart of yours, and thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today.